Hi, I'm Dr. Sara Mullen from the Victorian Cosmetic Institute. Today I'm going to be discussing some of the treatment options that we have here for acne scarring. There's all different types of acne scarring, from something we call macular scarring, which is flat scarring, and that can either be red or pigmented or white. Red scarring usually resolves itself over a period of time, which can be up to 1 to 2 years. Pigmented scarring mainly occurs in more olive skins, and we find that using a lightening agent and a good sunscreen will resolve it. There's also something called atrophic scarring, and most people know this scarring as indented scarring, and that can be of the form of boxcar, which actually means it's literally stamped out, ice pick, which is like a deep enlarged pore, or something called rolling scarring, which is an undulating scar. At the Victorian Cosmetic Institute, we have several forms of treatment that we can use for this scarring. Anything as simple as chemical peels and microdermabrasion. However, they are very light treatments with little downtime, and in that case, they do give a very small effect. There are certainly more effective treatments that are obviously more intense with more recovery time, but give much better optimal results. Skin needling is one of the treatments that we can use to get down to the dermis. It involves very fine, small needles on a rolling pin that effectively we just roll over the skin multiple times. And this stimulates the collagen to remodel and to fill up the scar tissue. At the Victorian Cosmetic Institute, we have a 3mm needle, so it's certainly a more intense treatment, and we're the only clinic in Victoria that can offer this 3mm needle. The advantage of skin needling is that we can do it in all types of skin, including olive and more darker skins, with little risk. The best results can be achieved from multiple sessions, but it can be anywhere from 1 to 5 to get an optimal result. Recovery period is about 1 week, so most people are back to their normal activities at about the 7-day mark. There's certainly no pain involved, it's just redness and a bit of swelling and scabbing. Another intense treatment for acne scarring that we have is Co2 Laser. It's a similar concept to skin needling in that instead of fine needles going down into the dermis to stimulate and regenerate that collagen, we're actually firing small columns of laser. These columns of laser are producing a thermal energy and ablation, and the combination of the two of them regenerate the collagen in the dermis to raise up and fill up the scar. There's different types of intensity of treatments that we can use with the Co2 laser. We can do light treatments where the columns of laser are spread apart in the skin, leaving more intact normal skin, and therefore the healing time is certainly less. We can become more intense by putting these columns of laser closer together, and even to the point when the whole skin, 100% of the skin, is covered. Obviously this is a more intense treatment with more downtime, but much better results. Recovery periods for CO2 can range from about 3 to 4 days for lighter treatments, up to about 10 days to 2 weeks for more intense treatments. For people who have smaller areas of acne scarring on the face and do not want to treat the whole face at the one time, we have other modalities that we can use, including TCA cross and subcision. TCA cross involves placing a special acid into the base of the scar using a toothpick. This remodels the collagen and thickens up the dermis and therefore lifts the scar. Often acne scarring is actually caused by tethering of the scar down to the underlying tissues. Something else that we can use for localised scars, and particularly large indented scars, is subcision. So we literally use a special needle to go underneath this tethering, break it up, release it and lift the scar. This is done under local anaesthetic. So in summary, at the Victorian Cosmetic Institute we have several treatment options that we can offer you for acne scarring. Of course, depending on the intensity of the scarring, where the scarring is, how much scarring you have and how little or more recovery time you need, we have an option available.